Let's have a quick conversation about change management. It is how we communicate what we often overlook in projects. So that could be any kind of change that we make. If we introduce new policies or procedures, new ways of working, new digital infrastructure, we need to consider how we bring our people on board. And the easiest way that we can do that is to do some basic assessment work. It's about communication and engagement on moving people from A to B. And what the most simple way to move people through these steps is to understand, what does the success of the change look like? Why are we changing? So what's the purpose? How do we explain that to our patients or our referring officers or even our staff members? How do we bring them along that change journey? What is changing? What will it look like afterwards? And for people, what do we need to do to support them through change? Often in project release, we think about, oh, a new system is going to fix everything. But unless we train people, communicate with people, understand where people need support to move from, let's say an example as a paper base, to utilising a digital system, we won't know unless we unpack the change component. So in the startup activity for change management, we've created a very simple step-through pack and supporting information for you to understand change first, educate yourself on change, and then as you move through phase 2, consider using some of the templates that are available. I'm just going to show that pack for you now so that you can get a understanding of what kind of material and support we will be providing as part of the LMS links and part of startup through to phase 2 in your tailored activities. Just bringing up that screen now. So as you can see, we will provide you advice on change management. We will give you the grassroots about what change management actually is and some detailed links for some recommended change organisations to unpack change further in regards to people on the journey. We will provide further advice on what to do about change and how to move through change so that you can receive and give the benefits of moving from A to B. Some of these key benefits include improving communications and engagement, understanding who the people are that will be impacted by the change. And that might range from, as I mentioned, your staff members through to your patients and also your relationship with your GPs, but also your connection and the digital support that you can receive from PHN. It will increase the adoption of something that you utilise or introduce. It will also introduce the idea of minimising disruption and helping you achieve your short and long-term business goals. It's by research, change management introduction and influence can actually reduce impact by about 60% if you work through simple approaches like the ADKAR model, building awareness and desire about things that you want to change, building knowledge on how that change is going to take place, giving people the opportunity to have the ability to demonstrate the skills that they're learning or the new behaviours that might require change. Often, for me, I find people say, oh, I don't want to go through the change. However, I want it to be the result of the change. So bringing them on the journey is really important and reinforcing that change so that it becomes the norm. Now, I just noticed that somebody had their hand up. Anne, would you like to ask a question?
I'm just wondering, can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
Okay. I'm just wondering, with those changes, I have my records digitally, but I'm obviously there's a whole mountain there, how that will transpose into a newer method, because then it seems to be um, like I'm concerned that that will be another whole load of work. Does that make
So,
sense?
yeah, can I just qualify your advice? You've currently got digital records?
Yes, they're computerized records.
Yeah, so you use a practice management system, is that fair to say?
I'm a sole practitioner, and
Mm-hmm.
the records that I have are computerized, and I just keep all my notes, but they're in a format that I developed myself years ago. So I'm just wondering how those two things will gel.
Yeah, and it's a fair question and it's a fair concern. This project is not aimed at making you change what you do currently. What we do want to support you with is ideas and methodologies that you can consider in regards to compliance and utilizing tools and systems and services that are available that suit your needs. I might bring Peter Mullen online just to talk to you about the digital support that the team can provide as we move forward to help you make those assessments, Anne.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay. Pete.
Hi, I'm back. Look, I think, Anne, it, I think it's like any change process, and I can understand and appreciate your concern that it appears to be a huge undertaking. But I suppose the other way to look at it is, it's that old axiom of how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So measure what you need to be doing, have a look at it, see what are the steps that you can do reasonably with the resources that you've got, with the time that you've got, and what's going to give you also, I think, probably the biggest bang for the buck. And I think
Mm.
that's probably the way to approach it. I know that sounds really generic. We're here to help you along that way. I'm not, there are some things that we can help with. There are others that obviously we can't. That comes down to a resourcing issue. But I think that's probably the way to look at it, is to say, okay, what am I trying to achieve, and how can I best achieve that? As I say, we're happy to support you where we can. But yeah, look, and that might be a discussion we need to have maybe offline. But yeah, happy to support you where we can with the different resources that we've got. So.
Okay, thank you. It might become clearer to me the more that I start looking at what's in the training.
Yep, yep. Were you, just to clarify, have you got both older records that are paper based as well as electronic records?
Yeah, I do. I do keep some paper records, but then I have computerized the majority of.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Yep.
but I utilize them both.
Yeah. Yep.
I love these questions. Keep them coming, friends. This is what this session is all about. It's giving you the opportunity to understand where we are at a starting point to provide you that guidance and help you determine the best path for improvement in a digital sense. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you engaging, and thanks, Pete, for your support on that answer. We're definitely here to help you unpack what the right approaches are towards digital maturity as we move through this. And Anne, I think you're right. Once you have the information at hand and access to the LMS, you'll be able to see further details about how we can support you, and it probably will promote a number of other questions. That's the beauty of change. As we move through any relative choice to make a difference, it really does have to be right time, right size, right place. This is the advantage of us giving it to you in a simple format and a step through way that can help you gain the best advantage that you choose. As we move back into understanding change management, it's a really great segue. We really do want you to feel comfortable moving through these packs, and so they will have editable templates that will help you determine the right way you want to make your change roadmaps. They will help you unpack those digital changes in a way that will help you size change right and at a time that suits your business. We're all busy people. Day jobs get in the road when it comes to investing more advice and more experience in digital landscapes. So we want to try and give you the simplistic way of putting change down on paper and then making some educated decisions on what you do next. So these will provide you relatively simple templates. If you need support and advice as we move through, please feel free to reach out to the team. So this pack itself will be available in the startup activities